Hey guys, we're going to do something slightly different today, and I'm going to give you my reactions to this book. And at the end, I would genuinely love to hear your reactions and get your 2 cents on this topic. So this book was recommended to me several times over. I don't think what I'm about to say is too much of a spoiler because it is pretty obvious if you've ever heard of Batman or Dexter or Superman. It sort of takes the same trope where you have a CEO billionaire by day becomes like a masked vigilante by night. So that is clearly what's happening from the beginning of the book. My issue begins with the character development. So this author manages to write a very complex and interesting male character. He's the villain, so maybe unfairly he's already more interesting than anybody else, but the male character has a clear backstory. It's detailed. It explains why he acts the way he does. It creates sympathy with the audience, with the reader, and you want to hear more about him. When he speaks, what he says makes sense based on what you know about him, and you really are left wanting to hear more. Now, with the main female character, the opposite is true. Whenever she speaks, she tends to gravitate to the most shallow form of conversation. For example, let me know if you've read this book, did you find this? Anytime the need for banter arises, she defaults to talking about money and making some comment about how much money he has and what he should buy her since he has so much money. If it's once or twice to sort of illustrate the income difference, that would make sense. But it's absolutely consistent with every interaction she has with this man. She always brings it back to money. This would make sense if her character was supposed to be supremely shallow. Then that would be what you wanted to convey with this character. But I do not believe for a second that that's what the author was going for. But that's what she achieved because she kept hitting this point so hard. I've seen this a lot with books where the male character is fascinating and the female character is sort of like just a shell, really. Not much personality, not much backstory. And I heard a theory once that authors do that so that a reader who they assume is probably female will be better able to project themselves into the role of the main female character. While I kind of understand the logic of that, the problem is what you end up with is a story where you get one fascinating character who is sinking all their time and effort and affection into somebody who the reader, if they're paying attention, would deem not really worth the effort. And if an author really hits that point too hard, it starts to become distracting. So that is my pet peeve in stories. I hate when there is an imbalance of backstory, of character development, of motives, because what it does is it eventually makes the whole story unbelievable. When that imbalance gets too high, you stop believing this guy would ever really like that girl. And then it just becomes frustrating. It becomes frustrating to see someone put so much effort into someone who's not worth it. So that is one of my personal pet peeves with stories, whether it's a movie or a book. I absolutely hate to see it. I love a strong male character, but I need the female character also to be interesting and worthy of somebody who's just as interesting as she is. So, what do you think? Am I way off base here, or do you agree with me? And also, what are some things that happen in stories? I don't care if they're fantasies or romances or anything else. What are some of your pet peeves when it comes to storytelling? Thanks for watching.